Hello there. The search is on for someone to present Tory government policies on Boris Johnson's behalf to the masses via TV on a daily basis. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. Anyone who's watched US TV cannot fail to have noticed the 32-year-old US White House Press Secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, taking on the American media and sometimes playing them at their own game. If you haven't, take a look at some of the YouTube videos of her, and she's only been in the job a couple or 3 months. And it now seems that Boris Johnson wants his own version of her here in the UK to field the press on a daily basis, but to also steal the limelight when required in order to bypass them. So maybe not so much a spin doctor as a spin performer or a spin artist. Some see this as the PM looking to build on the success of the coronavirus daily briefings and maybe to help put Nicola Sturgeon in the shade. But remember, Boris Johnson's top aide, Dominic Cummings, seems very interested in bypassing the press and getting the number 10 message straight out to the people. He's talked before about using storytelling techniques, and in his blog post from January this year he said, "In SW1, communication is generally treated as almost synonymous with talking to the lobby. This is partly why so much punditry is narrative from noise. With no election for years and huge changes in the digital world, there is a chance and a need to do things very differently." And remember the famous Brexit Day address that Boris made earlier this year, that was put together by his own videographer instead of using someone like the BBC and having them supply the media pool with the completed video, with the result that the Beeb threatened to boycott it. Now the ad for the post of spokesperson for the Prime Minister appears on the Conservative Party website and says, "This is a unique opportunity to work at the centre of government and communicate with the nation on behalf of the Prime Minister." Which has of course drawn much criticism from people saying Boris should do it himself instead of hiding behind someone else. Anyway, the ad goes on to say, "The successful candidate will become a trusted political advisor to the Prime Minister and member of the senior team at Downing Street, reporting into the Prime Minister's Director of Communications. And that they will be appearing in front of an audience of millions every day to represent the UK government and the Prime Minister. You will speak directly to the public on the issues they care most about, explaining the government's position, reassuring people that we are taking action on their priorities and driving positive changes." Now, to be clear, this is a political role, not just an information service, and it is a post that requires security vetting. And the task will be to shape the communications for the PM and government, and to regularly give on-the-record televised briefings to the media, provide trusted media advice to the Prime Minister and his wider political team, support the Prime Minister's Director of Communications to provide leadership in Number 10 and across Whitehall on communications strategy. And one of the main duties will be setting the vision, direction and strategy for briefing the press on behalf of the Prime Minister. Now, according to the Telegraph's Christopher Hope, this will be a real public-facing role, and he tweeted, "The successful applicant is likely rapidly to become a household name when they start to answer questions at regular press conferences at 9 Downing Street from October, addressing what are expected to be large TV audiences on news channels, social media and YouTube." And he says they are likely to pull in a commensurate salary in the region of £100,000 per annum. And one of the essential skill requirements is the ability to communicate with impact in a televised environment. And they're looking for an experienced and senior spokesperson or journalist. Now, one name that would spark great interest here would be that of Andrew Neil. After all, the BBC has shut down his BBC Two Andrew Neil show, so one assumes Mr. Neil could be available. Now, he would bring real knowledge, ability and gravitas to the post, but I'm not sure he would just want to spin it the way that Boris would want it spun. Do you? He's probably far too objective for that. And maybe 100k a year would not be sufficient to secure his services anyway. Now, one person who should not bother to apply is the former Speaker of the House of Commons, John Bercow. Not only did he leave his job as Little Squeaker under a Brexit cloud, according to reports he has now been formally dropped from any chance of getting a life peerage in the foreseeable future. And that goes for a couple of other people that the former Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn recommended as well as Bercow. The Mail reports, John Bercow, Tom Watson and Jeremy Corbyn's former Chief of Staff Carrie Murphy will be formally rejected for peerages this week when the dissolution honours are published. And the Mail also reports that the House of Lords Appointments Commission, known by the acronym HOLAC, dropped them after concerns were raised over their nominations. And in April, his deputy for 2 years, former Labour MP Natasha Engel, has come out in the Critic magazine painting a none too pleasant picture of Bercow, saying in an interview of Bercow's book Unspeakable that, for anyone who had anything to do with Bercow's speakership, it is unlikely that they will ever forget it. It was incredible, the most systematic accrual of untrammelled political power which, in the name of advancing the cause of parliamentary democracy, came very close to ending it. And in her piece called A Vengeful Pursuit of Political Power, she also said, the people he insults in his autobiography are all the people he has history with. Michael Howard, Michael Gove, David Cameron, Theresa May, Andrea Leadsom, Andrew Lansley, William Hague, Anna Soubry. I might have missed it, but there doesn't seem to be many Labour people he insults in the same way. As far as I can see, this is someone that Westminster, both houses of it, are well shot of. At the end of the day, if these reports are correct, then the squeaker John Bercow becomes the first Speaker of the House of Commons in 230-odd years to not be awarded a peerage. Well, he never was one for following parliamentary convention, was he? Especially where Brexit was concerned. But without his attempts to subvert Brexit, we may well have ended up with a Theresa May package of EU subserviency. When historians check this period out, he might actually go down as an unlikely and unknowing architect of a full-blown no-deal Brexit, or close to it. And that would really stick in Bercow's craw, wouldn't it? Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it. So, what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.